signed Wayne, but Wayne don't write. Kanye don't write, and Drake don't write. We should take your mics. Friday you be letting Devo take your bike. This honorable discharge, how I take your strike. Soldier,
Wolfgang Amadeuz, Wolf Tickets. It's on. Hey, where's Jaguar Wright? Where's Jaguar Wright?
I'm missing.
Well, she's in the building because in this episode, today's episode, we're gonna get into a few things. I don't even have my proper notes, but there's a couple of things I'm gonna talk about, and I got to get Jag's perspective. I'm sitting over here, just really going over what's the pertinent information that needs to be spoken on. Again, this is Wolf Tickets. Wolfgang Amadeuz here. Special guest Jaguar Wright. So
not missing.
And not missing at all. These trolls, they're a piece of work.
If they only looked for the truth as much as they look for me.
Well, yeah, there's a disinformation campaign out here, so we're gonna talk more about that. But right now, what it is though, Wolfgang Amadeuz, Wolf Tickets, this episode, I'm just bringing it back. I'm revitalizing this whole platform that I have here. And the platform essentially revolves around hip hop. And what is hip hop? Hip hop is I used to have it all down. I don't even remember what I used to say, but I used to have it like hip hop. Hip hop consists of 9 elements, and it's higher infinite power healing. Now people, I gotta go back and listen to how I used to open up and just give all praises to hip hop. And you can say hip hop is God. You can say hip hop is you can say hip hop is that. You can say hip hop is the universe. Whatever you want to call it. You can hand me that ranger there. What is that? I might as well. Yeah, y'all. I appreciate y'all subscribing. And
we gotta get to 10K. We need more on the set.
Well, let me break it down. Wolf Tickets is a podcast. It's featured on the set, but it's separate from Set in the West. But it's on the set. So Wolf Tickets is just me. It will be me jagging out on this hip hop shit. That's pretty much that's what Wolf Tickets is. That's what I call it. Oh yeah. So let's set it up. Let's start off with I mentioned some time ago about Lil Wayne going into the booth to get at Kendrick. That turned out to be some bullshit. Yeah. Joe Budden, he's the one that started that, saying that he heard that Lil Wayne in the booth because when K-Dot said what he said on Lockdown Heroes about Lil Wayne, him disappointing Lil Wayne. Well, yeah.
Isn't there a Ghostwriter strike?
I think it is. There's a Ghostwriter strike. So he made a comment about him just, he said the irony of him getting the Super Bowl, K-Dot getting the Super Bowl, he let Lil Wayne down. He used to be, whatever. And it wasn't taken to be like a diss, in my opinion. But
it shouldn't have been taken as a diss at all.
Used to bump the Carter 3, I held a chain crowd, irony got to think my heart will let Lil Wayne down.
And you know what? That was a very clever line, and it highlighted something that I don't think anybody's really paying attention to. The fact that Carter, that Lil Wayne, Mr. Carter, he was talking about repping it and the chain and all of that stuff. All of those lyrics were written by Gilly the Kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't. That wasn't your hero. Wayne wasn't your hero.
No.
If you're praising the lyricism, then you have to praise where the lyrics came from. See? Even you're allergic to bullshit.
I am. That's why I'm sneezing.
It's.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But
he let his illusion down. Is really what he said.
Got it.
He let his illusion down.
He said Wayne didn't appear to take that kindly to the song as he fired off an angry post. Yeah. Talking about, man, what the F did I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Then he warned, let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants that destruction. Not even me. But I shall destroy if disturbed on me.
What giant? He talking about Rock Nation?
I don't know which giant he's talking about.
Guess what? He wasn't no giant when he had to run the Desiree Perez and ask for help.
In the beginning of this,
that ain't no giant.
In the beginning of this pod, you heard Raz speak on a joint that I produced. I'm proud to say I produced this joint with my boy, rest in peace, Drew Infinite, and it featured Raz Pass and Black Diamond. Raz said it. Public Enemy told us, don't believe the hype. Some don't smell right. When Jay signed Wayne and Wayne don't write, Kanye don't write, and Drake don't write, we should take y'all mics.
That part.
Now,
everybody's so upset about bullshit.
Now, like I said, Lil Wayne, it was claimed by Joe Budden that Kendrick had ignored a phone call from Wayne to address the matter after Weezy went in the booth to record a response track. But allegedly there was no record, and it ain't nothing happened.
Budden's starting to sound like a tongue-ass Danny to me.
Yeah, there you go.
It's starting to sound like Joe Budden threw some bullshit out there, hoping to spark something, and then sit back and pretend like he wasn't the one that started it. Your disinformation is, it ain't information right, G?
Yeah, man, come on, Joe. You know what it is. Y'all come on, man.
They need to start a rap war.
Yeah,
they need to start a rap war so Mr. Carter can sneak away, hoping that he can continue to keep intimidating everyone away from the truth.
It's only obvious. You can see all the signs. On another note, I got word that they defaced Kendrick's mural again, since we're talking about blacked out murals. This is ridiculous, y'all. Kendrick ain't got that much hate in the city. I kind of know who's behind it. We're going to go there and we're going to find out what's really good.
Because who's selling Wolf tickets?
Yeah, who's selling Wolf tickets?
Does it sound like Joe Budden selling Wolf ticket? It sounds like Wayne selling Wolf ticket. Why is Joe Budden speaking? And baby, ain't all three of y'all. Where's all three of y'all?
And other news, I'm just getting to the feature right now because, I don't spend too much time woofing. I got something to say about Fat Joe. I just find it funny. Shout out to Fat Joe's ghostwriters. But Jag's about to go in because okay, so for those who don't know, Fat Joe made a comment about he's basically taking shots at Tariq Nasheed and talking about hip hop. Number one, he said something outlandish last year where hip hop was started by Puerto Ricans and blacks.
You know what?
Stop.
He's neither.
Right, because on his arrest record, when he's his race, and then Fat Joe, you got some explaining to do. You coming after a cat that has a movement, but what have you moved them?
You have the audacity to call Lord Jamar the wackest dude in his group. You can't even live up to the memory of a dead man. Pun is still better than you.
Fat Joe, I've never bought one of your records, but I did buy Fat Joe. I did buy Pun's record. In fact, I bought the album.
Punisher.
It was a Capital Punishment when it was like I was back then tapes. I had bought that tape, and it was I bought it. It was so dope because they packaged it like in a cigarette box. That was very clever.
I remember. I worked the street team.
That's dope.
Project. I was proud, and guess what? It was easier to push Pun's records than it was Joe's.
Well, because we're gonna get into the Joe stuff, but let me give it up for Pun because I remember my boy at the radio station at USC, and this was back when I was really getting my feet wet and freestyling, and that same radio station, I think a week later, we battled. Well, I ain't gonna say we; it was really just me and the homie Explicit.
But just you.
Well, I'll tell you a story about that. I'll tell you a story about that. That's funny. I'm gonna put this cat on blast too. But no, so I'll get back to the Pun situation because that was funny. Look, my boy, we worked at security spot, but he was a football player at SC. But he also he ran or he had a radio show for the campus for USC. So we used to just go up there and freestyle. Like it was straight up like raw. Like we go up there freestyle, no cap. Like we took a hat and just wrote down a whole bunch of subjects, and everybody would pick from the hat and start spitting. That's how raw we were.
Yeah,
we were some real MCs. Now my boy, he wasn't one of the tightest ones. He said some ish, and every time you get on the mic, people will call up, dude, get off the mic, you're whack. They called him out. They called him whack, and he started selling wolf tickets. Fuck that, y'all come up here, y'all, you come up here next week and whoop, right? Like he's talking all that shit, talking about some we can battle, whoop. He was battling Low Key from the Have Nots. Well, no, he didn't battle Low Key from the Have Nots. Low Key from the Have Nots actually was the dude that called in. And this is how me and Sherman are cool. This was before I even met Sherman. Sherman was part of a group called 2,000 Crows. The 2,000 Crows showed me love. They showed us love. So during that battle, or not the battle, before the battle, the old boy called out and y'all come up here and whoop, we gonna see. We always serve y'all. What, whoop. I said, all right. Well, he obviously don't see niggas. That's a whole nother story. I go to his house that next week because I'm like, okay, we about to be up there. We're gonna do what we need to do. Pulled up, called him, paged him, called his mama. He did not come out. He didn't show up for battle. He did not come out. So he was MIA. So we get to the station, and the homie Arturo, he popped up. I think the homie Miguel was there. So we had a little crew. None of them really was MC though, but Arturo was doing his thing, whatever, and it was Explicit. He was like another guy up there, whatever, and he was probably the only one really putting it down, and I was second. But the accountant, the Have Nots, they rolled deep. They were like some dread gangsters. Yeah, they were dreaded up, and but they were gangbangers, and they was like saying, we can take it to the parking lot. Y'all can get shot. Like we was coming bars, and they was talking some. We said okay, all right, and it was only really two of us. It was I forget how many of us was there, but it was only a few of us. It was about 19 of them niggas, but we held it down. So I'll say we won. But that was a battle that happened early '98 on USC campus, and that was funny. And then I think the week prior, though, Big Pun came to the station, and he freestyled for an hour straight, nonstop.
True Prophet.
And came out that little radio station, and the whole station smelled like his breath. That's how much he was spitting. Big Pun was spitting. True spitter. Now, on the flip side, 5 years prior, Joey Crack, Jealous One Envy, he came to Project Blowed and got booed. He mentioned it not too long ago, I think. And he was trying to talk smack about, this was the beginning of the East Coast, West Coast, and this.
Oh yeah, it all started with him.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
He clout chick. Joe, you're not an MC. We know that. Now, you got something to say about that whole MCing thing, right? About Joey? Yeah. I mean, you can chime in when you want. I was just, going over some real stories.
That he was always stealing Pun's verses. That he was always pump faking, pretending like he wasn't spitting written. And his written was trash. Or the fact that he was jealous of Pun because all of the bitches that he, we used to go after really loved Pun instead. And, they smelled the bitch faggotry on him.
Oh, damn.
Because he's a whole goddamn homosexual.
Oh, shit.
And see, I'm waiting for people
allegedly
to realize there's a thing. It's not alleged when you're talking to a boy who slept with him and LL Cool J and said he can understand why why Joe has to pay for it. That came from a young male prostitute who's a model that I know.
Y'all should see my face right now. Continue, Jag.
Like, it's bad. When even the groupies expect you to pay. That's bad. It's who you are. And it's sad because he been running around here nigga. But he's white. He pulled that white card when the man comes.
Exactly.
And now we're supposed to believe that fake Puerto Ricans, not New Eurekan, booty freaking. They put the hip hop together with us. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, your facts are incorrect.
Facts are incorrect. He's totally reinventing what actually happened.
I'll go on the record and say, shout out to Ice Cube. Hip hop started on the West because we had a brother named Don Campbell sitting there pop locking in 1969. That's where you got Fred Berry, and that's where you got the Lockers, because he was like a trained classical dance, but he came up with locking in 1969 here in LA. He's from Fresno. Now he went on and got on Soul Train, and the nigga twins, that's Kool Herc's dancers, they will tell you, we learned how to do our little stuff from watching this guy named Don Campbell on Soul Train. So wait, Kool Herc is the father of hip hop, and he's the father of hip hop, but his dancers will tell you where they learn how to get their style from. A guy, anyway. I don't want to mess up y'all timeline.
You know what's sad? It doesn't even matter what the timeline is. The fact that we're still arguing about the fact where hip hop originated, and yet it seems, if you look at the timeline, it was being duly affected on both sides. People keep not acknowledging that LL Cool J was not a New Yorker. He went to New York, but he's from where?
Compton. And you can talk to his...
And And considering that he's considered one of the original pioneers of hip hop, it would seem like, why would nobody say, okay, well, he was into hip hop when he came to New York. He posed as a New York rapper, but so see, there's just so much collusion.
Well, see, I say it like this.
Who hurt New York, but with LA dancers, like there's
yeah. See, it was on both sides. It's not about it. Cool. Hip hop has
talk
always been here.
Period.
Hip hop has always been here. So that's really where I'm going with the whole thing.
But
I'm not really
my
tripping
point
on
as
that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like, does it matter? The sun rises in the east and it sets in the west.
That is.
But does that make it any less what it is? Because look at what hip hop did. It covered this entire nation. Just like the sun. Doesn't matter where it rose. Doesn't matter where it sets. What matters is that it's acknowledged for what it brings.
Yeah. And like I said, take if I'm speaking.
And are we gonna finally be honest about the fact that all of these guys it's starting to come out in the wash that they're all government agents?
Well, there we go. Fat Joe, bro, come on. They're talking about you, and shout out to Lord Jamar, shout out to Brand Nubian, shout out to Sadat X, shout out to Grand Poobah. How are you
gonna call a black MC, God MC, a nigga, and we haven't whooped his ass?
Oh no, he's getting his ass whooped. He's getting his ass whooped online right now.
Fuck online.
But no, physically, I think people are just gonna we gotta just dismiss Fat Joe. We just gonna send you off to you're not part of the culture.
Take him down to the Bronx Zoo and put him in a cage and let people throw rotten things at him.
You also have some stories about Joe, because look, Fat Joe, the only reason why I even gave him creed and credit was because he was down with digging in the crates. I remember that.
You mean he was stalking that crew?
So how was he a part of DITC?
He's always been a plant. He's always been a colonizer. He's always been an infiltrator. He's a traitor.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And for anyone to acknowledge him as a relevant part of anything regarding hip-hop, you go to hell right with him.
Yeah.
He's a plant.
Joe, you cannot speak for the culture. I'll just say it like that, Joe.
Yes, he can. He can speak for the destruction of it because that's what he's been a part of.
Well, for him to, call FBA broke N-words and this and that, like you can't speak.
Yeah, but he said that in front of a black man and didn't punch him in his mouth.
Yeah, I know.
Just like that weirdo white guy with Charlemagne talking about Kendrick.
Shows.
What the hell is going on with this?
The Spineless brothers. Spineless. Now, who interviewed him? I believe it was Mav Hoffa. I'll keep it a buck. Every time I've been around Latinos and they say the N-word, there's a few, shout out to my homies. They know what it is. But you got Latinos that just say all types of shit. That's got to stop. I check immediately.
But let me call one of them a spick.
And it's a problem.
And I'm a problem.
It's a problem, right? It goes both ways. Respect goes both ways. So Joey Crack, if you are legally a white person, technically you're practicing racism because you sitting over here saying
that's not technical. That's a fact.
Technically, that's what I'm saying. Technically,
so
he's a racist.
Technically would mean that there's a space where that wouldn't be considered. That there's no other way to consider it.
Technically means 100% what the fuck I said. That nigga's a racist. Okay. Look, but and then the whole thing with Pun and his death, like I think we'll talk about that later because I've always found that suspicious too.
I'm telling you, I think he paid somebody to mess with his medicine.
Did he have diabetes? Did Pun have diabetes?
Yes, he had a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He had a bunch of things, but all of the weight loss stuff that they was giving him just kept blowing him up instead.
Yeah. So if y'all don't know, Pun, he was a ladies' man, and I think he got in an accident, and then he was pretty much kind of like immobile, and he couldn't really move like that, and he gained like 300 pounds, and then he became successful as a rapper. And look, I'm gonna keep it a buck. shout out to.
I never met a man that could rap that good and couldn't breathe at the same time.
His breath control. That's what I was about to say.
His breath control was
fucking.
That nigga could barely breathe to walk around the corner to get a pack of Newports, but he could hold a flow.
Yo, I saw Pun perform in '98 when it was Goody Mob. I think they were on their run with that one joint, Black Ice, and they don't dance no more. And then shout out to my generation is the Unity. So shout out to Bigger B.
And shout out to Westmore Drive, the new Goody Mob, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, we gotta tap in with them. Look, I saw Pun perform in person in '98, and he had the crowd. He had us. He had energy. I remember right when
that's what he do.
I remember when not because I didn't like Still Not a Player. I'm not a player. I just fuck. I like the original one with the OJs.
Yeah.
You're my darling, darling. Yo, when that joint came on, Pun had the crowd.
That's what he did.
Pun. Shout out to Big Pun. Rest in peace, Big Pun.
And he knew how to give a show.
That show, look, I've only saw him perform once, and that was the best, like one of the best performances.
You'll never forget it.
Big Pun forever.
Can't say the same for Joe.
No, I can't. Yeah,
He ain't got a performance I've remembered.
I remember a performance when he performed at Project Blowed and got booed. That was funny, and that's all in the documentary. Ava DuVernay did her documentary titled "The Good Life." If y'all ever want to see that, just go type in "This Is the Life." That's the name of the documentary. Yeah. It actually inspired me to do Set in the West.
You know,
shout out to LA Cool Rifleman. Shout out to Mike and I
got weird shit with Ava DuVernay.
Oh, me too.
I got weird shit.
No, me too.
No, you know, Dream Hampton reached out to her on my behalf.
Wait, what?
To help me with my shit, and then all of a sudden they slumped the shit.
Well,
they put a plan on me, Sharon Monet, to help me write the woodshed, to make sure that the Carters weren't slandered in any way. They did the whole thing, and they told me that Ava promised that she was going to help me fight my case because what they were doing with my child custody, which was all talked about in my book, and then the next thing you know, the fucking bitch went ghosting me.
That's what they do.
She don't give no fuck about no social justice.
Oh no, I know that.
Fucking weird bitch.
She don't really rock with black men like that either.
She don't rock with black people at all.
But well, you know, her and Oprah. Anyway, look, we this is a real episode of Wolf Tickets because we just letting this shit go. And I normally keep my who I don't fuck with and who I fuck with on the back burner, but yeah. Y'all know who we don't fuck with. Y'all know who we
The culture is under attack.
The culture is. Okay, I mean, more hip hop news. I had other stuff in my notes, but I just had to touch up on that. You know, the whole thing with Fat Joe and him going at Tariq Nasheed. In fact, Tariq Nasheed is it's a whole thing right now. He's on Twitter just, be careful. Come on, be careful. I'm over here cooking and Jag over there cooking. Quit playing.
Shit, I'm burning.
You sitting over here burning. Look, you sound like Foxy Brown.
No!
The funniest shit for shameless plug, but the funniest shit that I've heard on Jaguar Wright Uncensored podcast was the Foxy Brown episode. That shit was funny. Y'all gotta check that out. But anyway, did Latinos invent hip hop? That's what Tariq Nasheed is on when it comes to his intersection with Fat Joe and it's another cat. It was Fat Joe and
Latinos invented Jennifer Lopez.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Latinos invented Cardi B. That's what they're responsible for.
Damn.
I don't even stick up for the good ones. Where the fuck is Mark Anthony at?
Oh shit.
You know, why is it that all the real ones get overshadowed and all of the plants and the fake ones it's the same thing. You don't even have to ask that. We know why. Look at you. Look at you. But look, check this out. Look. I think it was a guy named Joe Conzo. They was calling him Joe Colonizer. I think he and Fat Joe are cool. But he was going after Tariq Nasheed's documentary
Microphone Check, which I still got to check out. I ain't checked it out. And yeah, he's talking about the origins of hip hop, and he goes back to Pigman Mark. Was a guy Pigman? Like he was the first rapper. Pig Feet Mark.
Something like that.
Yeah. And you know, even with Set in the West, I kind of was just throwing hints at like it really ain't even about race. It's just about who are the originators and who get the opportunities. That's it. And I said it this. East Coast is like what Napoleon said. History is a group of lives agreed upon. So they agreed upon it being 73, August 11th in the Bronx. It started here. Cool, we got that. Y'all not giving Philly its props though. Y'all definitely not giving LA its props.
Raped and robbed, and Philadelphians let it happen.
And then I'm gonna end it with this.
The only legacy of Philadelphia music that was held pure until the Roots decided to help let Jay-Z colonize all of Philadelphia rap was my uncle, Kenny Gamble. And then they put the CIA in there in Philly International Records.
Jag, that we're on the same wavelength because that's exactly where I was going with this conversation as far as CIA involvement and the term gangster rap. Because I think the term came out of supposedly Ice-T. But Ice-T, and I broke that down. He learned, he got his cadence from the PSK, Parkside Killers, remember? And ain't that a Philly,
Yeah.
Aren't they Philly rap?
My friend Jesse. EST. 3 times dope.
Yeah.
Schoolie D.
See, Schoolie D, I fucks with all that. When I was doing all my research on, I said, where did they get this cadence from? Because the Eazy-E got it from Schoolie D. Ice-T. Ice-T got it from Schoolie D.
Yeah.
Parkside Killers. I love it. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are being left out of the conversation.
PSK. People always say, what the hell does that mean? One by one, I'm knocking you out. That's just an iconic ass. I can't wait to introduce you to Jesse. That's Schoolie D real name. But nice. He goes by Patrick now. I don't know why.
Oh, well, maybe, he squared up. I ain't mad. Shit.
No, that's his government name, not from that Jewish one he got that baby with. But anyway.
Oh, damn. Okay, but the CIA involvement in gangs, which I'm actually going to do the documentary.
No different than with the Black Panthers.
With the Black Panthers, the CIA involvement with this gangster rap, so-called gangster rap, because Ice-T, he said he coined it reality rap, but then the media, which, CIA, decided to call it gangster rap. Now, what we got now is people who claim to be careful. She's still over here cooking. Okay, I know what I got to do. We got to get those mittens. You over here playing.
I'm gonna go army.
I see. Look, the CIA, they put plants in strategic places. Now, shout out to Tariq Nasheed, but Joe, I'm under the impression that you're for sure informant and you're an agent. I'll just say it like that because you're not really doing anything to move the culture forward. You're with this narrative to say people of color, black people, native black people of this country didn't start and it was this. You're running with a lie. You're straight running with a lie. You need to be admonished from the culture. And that's all I gotta say. I don't want to make this whole thing too long. I keep WolfTix down. There ain't no reason to be yelling and screaming and doing all that. This is WolfTix and special guest Jaguar Wright. You got any final thoughts?
Yeah, when are black people gonna start acting like black people and stop letting colonizers come in and screw over everything and mess over everything and act like they don't know they just sit there and let this stuff happen? The only way Fat Joe gets away with what he's doing is if we let him.
Indeed. And we're not letting him no more. This is WolfTix. Peace.